Hi, I'm Sheila, and I'm here to help you be their parent. Today, we will talk about routines and why they are so needed in our kids' lives, no matter their age. Routines should be a part of your child's day throughout the whole day. Now, I'm not saying everything needs to be regimented. We don't have to raise little soldiers, but kids thrive when they know the routine and what to expect. Think about it. If your kid goes to daycare or is in school, they all have routines to help their day go smoothly and predictably. If the school opened up the cafeteria to kids to come grab lunch whenever they were hungry, we would have a hot mess. All ages of kids would be mixed up in the lunchroom at the same time. There would be no way to know how long someone had been out of class and if just sitting there enjoying their lunch. Food might be wasted because they would have it prepped and maybe only a few kids showed up at that time. We have to have a routine to help things run smoothly. But Sheila, we're a family. We're not a school. That's true. However, you need a routine to build on so your kids can know what to expect, get better at it, and then be independent. Routines help grow our kids' independence, not decrease it when they're done well. I built routines into our day from about the time my oldest had created her own routine of sleeping and eating that we could count on. Doing things in the same way most of the time brings comfort and a foundation to build more independence into. Routines can also be replicated, meaning you can pass it off for others to do. When I first got my teaching degree, I subbed for the first 3 years afterwards. The classes that had solid routines and a brief explanation of what I needed to do to keep it going were my easiest days. And this is why I would avoid subbing in pre-K and kinder classes until the second half of the year, because it usually takes that long for those classes to get their routines down. The classes that didn't have the routines down were all over the place. Students would try to tell me what we needed to do that didn't match what the teacher had given me. It made my job harder for sure. If you have a strong routine, when you have a sitter watching your kids, it will go easier for your kids because the sitter will follow your plan and that creates comfort. Now, all that being said, you also need to allow for some flexibility in your routine. When I was a toddler, our family had one car and my dad used it most days to go to work. My mom would often walk me over to the nearby strip mall, and we would just browse and be out and about. Sometimes we had lunch at the pizza place, or we'd go home for lunch. But we were always home for my nap. Awesome routine. I knew what to expect. We got out of the house, and all my needs were met. The only problem was that I would only nap at home in my crib. It made it really difficult when we were away from home during my nap time. My mom learned her lesson. When my brother came along, we were still a one-car family. However, my mom started taking us places on the bus. Not every day, but often enough that we'd be out during his nap, and he learned to sleep anywhere. We still had the basic routine most days of being at home, but those random days out would allow him to learn to be flexible. All right, I hope I've talked you into it, that your kid and your families need routines to help life run just a little smoother. Our next podcast will start working on creating a bedtime routine for your family that you can maintain and brings the predictability your child needs.